Hey guys, I'm Romain Bardet. I'm now 33 years old and riding since 4 years now from team DSM-firmenich PostNL.
Roman, nice to see you. First of all, I'd like to ask you, what are your goals for this season?
Yeah, it's now season getting about to getting started next month. Few training blocks, but yeah, we'll be soon racing again. So yeah, I will take aim again for two Grand Tour. Uh, I like to go to the Giro again this year, where I will try to get a stage win to complete the list and also hopefully to be in contention for a good GC. And then I will go to the tour for purely for day success with the team. And yeah, I like to combine two Grand Tour like this in a short period of time. I think for me that's the two Grand Tour that suits the best to my abilities.
Yeah, perfect. Well, you've got a lot of experience in those long tour races and a very sort of good history of success. And for us, as a partner with the team that looks at hydration and sports nutrition, we know that nutrition and hydration is a huge part of being a successful rider these days. So, can you talk to me a little bit about how you go about fueling some of these longer and harder races?
Yeah, I think for me, one of the major steps over the last few years was about people and riders improving their intakes, their nutrition, and their nutrition, their fueling, and also their drinking capabilities about during the race. It's hard now, and yeah, we don't see often riders going out of gas because now it's been we train for that, and the knowledge is now in a good position in every team to make sure that people can perform at their maximum for the 5 or 6 hour long.
Yeah, you kind of beat me to one of my questions there because I was going to say, as someone who's watched cycling for many years, we don't very often see riders blowing up in races now, but maybe that's changed over the course of your career. Have there been any times when you've either experienced it yourself or seen it in races?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the difference is huge compared to my first years, 10 years ago, where nutrition. I remember we went most of the races with almost self-made food, like some small bread with jam or ham, with that's one you will make to breakfast and we'll bring back in the pockets. Now we know that we have to have the right intake at the right time, also with the caffeine and everything that comes along. So yeah, it's been a major steps, and now the baseline is pretty high. So you can still have a feel that might be a bit less fueled because you have a couple of hard days in the saddle, but you won't completely blow up because yeah, you make sure that on and off the bike you have the right nutrition.
Yeah, and talking about the hydration part of the nutrition puzzle specifically, what do you know about your sweat from the testing that you've done with the team, and what's your kind of hydration regime look like?
Yeah, I'm lucky with that. I don't have really big problem with the. I'm sweating a lot, but I also train my body a lot to sweat with quite some hot training session, heat adaptation. I'm a big fan of going into the sauna also. So yeah, for me, took always 2 or 3 days to really adapt for the heat. But once it's done, I can deal pretty good with that.
Yeah, and with the sweat test, the precision hydration sweat test, how salty a guy are you? You sweat a lot, but do you have a lot of salt in your sweat?
No, I'm in the very few guys that have almost just a few amount of salt in my sweat.
Yeah, super useful when you're going for long hot stage races.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it helps me also to keep kind of stable weight because I don't keep too much salt into my body, and so yeah, that and also for the jersey, I didn't never have so much salt on the jersey.
Yeah, it keeps you looking smart and neat for those podium finishes. Good stuff. Um, with sticking with hydration for a moment, obviously on cold days riders drink less and on hot days they drink more, but what's the difference for you? Like, how little do you drink in a cold race per hour and how much do you drink per hour in a really, really hot day?
We aim to have, yeah, 2 bottle is the ideal when it's around 15 to 20 degrees, 2 bottle an hour. Never less than one for sure when it's really cold, and we do put then some more carbs in. And when it's above 25 degrees, then we go for less carbs because we can go up to 4 bottles an hour when it's getting really hot over 30 degrees.
Yeah, so quite a big difference. And I guess for you as a GC rider in Grand Tours, the time trials are very important. I've often wondered how much drinking goes on in those kind of time trials, and is there a threshold below you don't bother, or how much do you consume in one of those?
I mean, for me, regarding the time trial, the key is to be hydrated really at the start. We know depends on the duration, but it's never more than 1 hour. We try to avoid to take any water or any sports drink because it's not you have to get out of position, take the bottle. So as much as we can, we try to avoid drinking. So we know we might finish a bit dehydrated, but the important factor is to really it was back in the days David Millar who showed and published his routine before the time trial, and he said from the day before he really checked his urine every time he can to make sure he's really in a good hydration state, because it plays a major part on how long you will be able to sustain a threshold on that TT.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that we preach to a lot of athletes, is if you're doing a shorter, harder race, getting on the start line fully hydrated, fully fueled is really important. Do you ever take any additional salts or anything in that build-up for hydration, or is it just water and other fluids?
No, we just have the normal sports drink. We try to also, as you said, maximize to make sure we are completely fueled before the time trial, because it will be pretty short, but pretty exhausting in terms of carbs. So, but the aim is to be able to complete the hour of effort without any help of food.
Yeah, good stuff. I'm going to put you in a scenario in your mind now. I want you to tell me how you're going to react. You're in a breakaway. It's a big race. It's a hot day. There's a few guys there. Someone from another team comes by and says, "Romain, I'm struggling. It's hot and I can't get to the car. I dropped a bottle. Can you help me?" What do you say?
Yeah, for sure. I will help. I think we had the situation this year in the Vuelta was with Evenepoel in the front, and we share a lot of bottle and to spray on us, and I think and it's never easy because I mean we are also in the rush of the race, but we are also there to help each other, and and you can be pretty quick in a bit of emergency when you find yourself out of water, and you feel you start to burn out.
Yeah, and is there a known price in the peloton for a bottle? Is it like a dinner out afterwards, or a glass of wine or something, or is it just kindness?
It's just kindness, I think, and but I think the teams improved a lot, and we have a lot of bottle points now, and also you can most of the time find helps to any other soigneur from other teams when they are here standing in the side of the road.
Earlier in your career, what was the strangest thing that you ever got given to eat or drink in a race on the bike?
Drink for sure is we used to have some, and it's a pretty funny thing. I don't know if I should tell the story because, but
it sounds like you should definitely tell this story.
We have some post-crits in France, and it's pretty, it's exhibition. We know already who is gonna win, but it's just an exhibition with some riders of the Tour, maybe a bunch of 40 guys going for 2 hours around a small city where people are really enjoying themselves and drinking a lot. And So we use there are 4 in the same week, just after the tour, and we used to have a lot of fun there. And I remember one, it was super hot, even in the late afternoon, and I was getting bottles from the public, and they were putting me a fresh beer on every lap. So it was pretty good experience, mixing fun and yeah, so yeah, that was definitely the funniest and one of the nicest drink to have on the bike on this kind of day.
I think that's only going back to the history of the tour and those kind of things. When you see those old videos, they used to do a cafe raid, and I think beer was probably one of the better drinks that they got from there. It was a lot of brandy and champagne and crazy stuff.
Exactly. I heard a lot of also reading books from some cyclists from the 60s, 70s. They used to also put some whiskeys and some yellow, the yellow of the egg, also to do some special mixing to find energy.
Yeah, I think sports nutrition's come on a little bit since then. I don't think you'd get that past the team these days.
No, true, but and also sometimes you, when you got really exhaust yourself a bit, you have this special appetite for something salty on the bike, and so yeah, sometimes we also be dreaming on the bike when it's super hot to have something a bit salty to eat.
Yeah, I think that's you can get fed up with all the sweet stuff. I know that I used to like having like some salty.
Exactly.
I think for me I used to do Ironman, and they would sometimes have chicken noodle soup on the run, and chicken noodle soup has never tasted so good.
Yeah, true. Because I also, after some hard and really hot days in the mountains, when you come around in the hotel in the lobby and you have people with the beer, and for sure the beer looks good, but even when you look, they have some salty peanuts, and you have special appetite for that, for this kind of food on that special day.
So Romain, we had a question from Russell Peterson, and he wanted to know, where does your motivation for racing come from?
From racing, I think it's just to push myself to my extreme limits. I want to close the chapter as a pro cyclist, saying, okay, I've done everything I could and I got the result I get, but I've done it really 100%.
And how has your motivation changed in the later part of your career compared with the early, would you say?
Yeah, to be honest, the first 8 years I was growing every year, getting closer to maybe a potential Grand Tour win, so it keeps driving me. Now, since the COVID, it changed a bit, but I still, as I said, I want to win the Giro, I want to also perform on the Monument again, so it keeps really driving me.
Jim Cotton wanted to know about fueling and hydration intake in different weather conditions. Like, explain how you modify that and modify your plan based on different conditions.
Yeah, basically, we have 2 scenarios when it will be really cold. So when it will be really cold, we know it might be harder to get to the pocket and to also to feel the need to drink. So we basically go for bigger amount of carbs in the bottle because we are going to drink less, and I will go mainly for gels also in the, because I make sure I can get the right amount of carbs with no need to chew or anything. And when it's hot, it's a bit the opposite. We go for lower amount of carbs because we are going to drink maybe up to 4 bottle per hour, and also with gel because we want to also save a bit the digestion, because when you have a lot of water already in the stomach and you go for the fast source of carbs.
Yeah, so it's kind of more solids and less liquids and vice versa. Yeah, makes total sense. We had a question from California from a guy called Cliff, and it sounds like Cliff's been getting dropped on some of his training rides with his mates because he has a hunger flat. So how can he solve that problem?
It will be interesting to have some background. Did he went too hard? He should not. If he starts to have the right amount of carbs the day before, even the best will be 2 days before, from the evening, 2 days before, and also keeps during his first 2-3 hours of ride up to 90, 100 grams of carbs an hour, you should run out of carbs and having an hunger flat. But yeah, depends also of your fitness on the day. Even me, when I stop riding for 3 weeks, like I usually do during the off season, and I start training again. After 2 hours, I feel like I'm hitting the wall again. So you need also to train your body a lot.
Yeah, so starting with, but the carb loading 2 days before out, I think is a really good tip, because I'm not convinced a lot of amateur riders think about that. They think about the ride just before the ride starts, and you've got to start preparing early.
Yeah, true. I think and also it's a common mistake to people who maybe overeat just the dinner before, because you maximize your glycogen stores 2 days before, and but on the other hand, on the last dinner, you want to have a good sleep and not going too heavy to bed. So it's not the right time to go for that big pasta party. You just need to eat a bit normal, and because the carb storage has to be done before.
Max Serda wanted to know, during the season, are you always 100% strict with what you eat off the bike, or do you have any kind of meals where you cheat a little bit?
No, I'm just human, and I'm French. We like food and we like drinks. So no, I will. I really enjoy to have. I think I'm pretty strict before my ride, and also after, with the recovery, to try to get the right amount of carbs, protein. But on the dinner, sometimes depends on what I have to do. But and also, to socialize and I like to have also a glass of wine and some cheese. I'm from an area in France where cheese is everything, and with a good glass of wine, it's also good to fuel the brain.
Yeah,
and the mindset.
Good stuff. Yeah. Keep yourself feeling.
It's
happy.
all about balance and the proportion, for sure. You don't have to do that every night, and but yeah, you don't. If you are I think you have to be 95% of the time good, and leave the 5 or 10% for what you really need and what you're willing to have.
Yeah, then you can sustain it for longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last question, and I'm going to stress this isn't one from us, this is from one of our readers. It's a very off-the-wall question. But if you had to live for 1 year without your eyelashes or your eyebrows, which ones would it be?
I think my eyelashes, but it will be harsh. No.
I think the problem with eyelashes for me is like the removing them bit is going to be harsh. At least with the eyebrows, you could just shave. It's going to be I don't want to think about having my eyelashes come out.
First time I had this question. It's
Oh yeah. This is a unique question. It's the first time I've asked this question.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
Although
maybe I will go for the less painful, but yeah, it doesn't look so good. I think you see more when you remove this part, but yeah, it might be less painful.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Romain. Really,
Nice.
really nice talking to you. Really appreciate your time, and very best of luck for this season.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.